Description: Quran Owner's Cave. Grainy descriptions reflect what holds the characters of the story, and the heroes of the values represent the demand of faith in God alone. The Almighty said, "We are the lack of you and Bohm the right young they believed in their Lord and Nam Huda." In the news of the owners of the cave that they fled their religion from a king who appeared in their city and worshipped idols and worshipped his people, so these boys turned away from him to a cave outside the city, fleeing their religion. The narratives unanimously agree that the boys were of the religion of Jesus, the son of Mary, upon whom be blessings and peace, and that the name of the infidel king is Dacius or Docnius, and the name of the city ruled by Ephesus or Tarsus. Mentioned by the Quran, the Almighty said, "They will say 3/4 their dog and say 5 their dog by stoning the unseen, and say 7 tam their dogs say, my Lord knows bdhm that teach only a few do not substantially them only unarguable visible and tsf including one of them." And it was said that the negation of the first and second enumerations appeared by following them the sentence, by divination, meaning a slander of the unseen without confirmation or evidence. Then resumed the census to reveal the real number, so they were 7 and the 8th was their dog, and God knows best. It was said in the circumstances of the boys that they were children of elders or sons of kings, and that they were young, and that King Docnius was a raft of the Roman cities, leaving no one on the religion of Jesus, the son of Mary, except to kill him, and the boys had denied what the king was. Docnius and his people were from idolatry and underestimated their condition, so they mentioned to Docnius that among the sons of your entourage are those who disobey your command and spoil your gods. So Docnius gathered the young men and ordered them to follow his gods and slaughter them. Then he made a vow to kill them after he saw their steadfastness on their religion and determination. He makes a date for them to seek their return to him and to his gods, and he would not have delayed their account except for considering their young age and their ignorance of what might be done in them of murder and bloodshed and the hanging of their remains at the gates of the city, as he does to someone who is not religiously committed. And Docnius set off on the outside of the city seeking refuge. People fled to a cave in a mountain on the outskirts of the city called Panglos, so they worshipped God and occupied the rest of their time with supplication and remembrance, and they made one of them on their food, and his name is Mlika. So if he wanted to go out to the city market, he put on his clothes that he was known for his honor and lineage, and wore torn clothes that he would hide from the people of his city, so he would return to his friends with food and livelihood without anyone feeling it. Upon the return of King Docnius to Medina, he asked the young men for their delay, which he had delayed for them, and the people mentioned to him what was their command. So he gathered his army and then went to the cave and built on it to die inside it, and God had struck their ears, and in their sleep there was a loss of hearing, which is the most affected of the senses during sleep. Then God sent a king over the religion of Jesus, the son of Mary, upon whom be blessings and peace be upon him. In his covenant, God permitted the opening of the cave by the hand of a shepherd who went to the cave to protect his sheep from the rain. So God sent the cavemen and they differed as to how long they slept, then they sent all their food for them. With a teacher who denied it, even if he reached the market and showed his dirhams, the people denied it and gathered to ask about his matter. Then they raised his matter to the king and told him stories, and the king and his people followed him to the cave to witness the dispatch of his companions. They found them in their condition and hastened their affairs, so they set up a church and a mosque in which to pray. Surat al-Kahf was revealed in confirmation of the Messenger of God, may the prayers and peace be upon him, and as a validation of his message, because the infidels of Quraysh sent al-Nadhar bin al-Harith and Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayt to the rabbis asking them about the Prophet Muhammad, prayers and peace be upon him. The first is the affair of the young men, the people of the cave, the second of which is the circling man, and the third is the spirit. So the revelation slows down to the messenger of God for 5 days, then it came to him with Surat al-Kahf, and the news of the companions of the cave and the 2 horns, and the verse was revealed, and they ask you about the spirit. Description: Quran Owner's Cave. Grainy descriptions reflect what holds the characters of the story, and the heroes of the values represent the demand of faith in God alone. The Almighty said, "We are the lack of you and Bohm the right young they believed in their Lord and Znam Huda." In the news of the owners of the cave that they fled their religion from a king who appeared in their city and worshipped idols and worshipped his people, so these boys turned away from him to a cave outside the city fleeing their religion. The narratives unanimously agree that the boys were of the religion of Jesus, the son of Mary, upon whom be blessings and peace, and that the name of the infidel king is Dacius or Docnius, and the name of the city ruled by Ephesus or Tarsus. Mentioned by the Quran, the Almighty said, "They will say 3/4, their dog and say 5 vhm their